All of the food we eat and much of the clothing we wear comes from plants and animals that are raised on farms. Farms are different in type, in size, and even in name.
Welcome to Barn Talk. What happens at the barn stays in the barn, but not today. We're going to let it all out for you guys. Man, just can't say enough thank you to you guys. The show has been growing like a weed in 2026, and it's a big credit to you guys. And the guests that we've been able to land is all credit to you wonderful people that tune into the show every single week, whether you're listening or watching. And we have a thing on the show that we like to say every show before we get into the nitty gritty. If you get any value from the show, share it out with the people that you know. It's kind of the ticket to admission to watch or listen to the show, and that's the best thing you could do for us. If you want to see this show succeed and you want to see it grow and you want to see us get more great guests come to the barn and have some awesome conversations with us, that's what you can do for us, and that's all that we really ask. You can also leave a review on Spotify or Apple. Those always give us a lot of credibility and make our show more credible to land more guests. Last thing you can do to help us out here at Barn Talk is you could sign up for our weekly newsletter. It's at joinbarntalk.com. We are putting out a weekly newsletter about everything going on in rural America and how it's affecting people, farmers, ranchers, blue-collar workers, etc., and giving our opinion on it, giving our thoughts on it. And when we got a goal with that right now, if we get to 10,000 weekly newsletter subscribers, we're going to throw a live event right here on the farm, in the barn, and bring every great guest that's had an impact on you guys that's been on the show. Try to get them here to be in person, and you can meet them and they can drop some value in person and all that. So just have a good old time is really what we want to try to do. But
that's what I'm after.
That's what you're after. You're the star of the show.
I don't know about that.
I think here's the thing about Dad. He gets energy from talking to people. That's for sure. Like he is, when you think of an extrovert, Torque is an extrovert. For me, by the end of that night, I might need a nap. I'm probably gonna need to go to sleep.
Yep.
But you're gonna be up till 3 a.m.
Sawyer will just do an Irish goodbye. He'll just turn around and he just won't be here. He'll be asleep. He might be asleep up here in the haymow.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. We'll see how it goes. But we got to get there first.
We do got to get there. So,
but I think we'll get there.
I do think so. I love the newsletter. It's just a little bit. It's kind of like a weekly hot topics with us, because we're getting the point where with all these guests, we don't get to do as many hot topics as what we used to, and it's kind of like getting that in your inbox every week. So if you like that sort of thing, sign up, subscribe. We kind of got another theme going. Last week's episode, we actually had to pause in the middle of it because it was raining so hard in the barn that usually it doesn't pick up, but it was so heavy that it was picking up on the mics, and we had to shut her down for a little bit. And we actually are starting a little later than what we thought we were going to today with our guest, because the same reason. It's rained like crazy here in southeast Iowa. I'm sure we've had well over an inch of rain. I didn't check the gauge because it was still raining as we came over. And so our normal deal is we worry about dry weather. I'm pretty sure that the corn's got plenty of moisture. In fact, we might have too much. I just got my update from Sky Scout. Some of you might know that we're demoing Sky Scout from Landis Cooperative this year, and I just got the update this morning, the flyover, and you're starting to see, instead of drought stress, you're starting to see all those places that need tile and got a little too much water because they're starting to fall behind. So, I got to have something to complain about, or they'll come take my farmer card. So, too much rain now.
We've been saying this for years, rather have a dry year than a wet year, because we had a wet year last year. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people kind of agree that for whatever reason, that wet year is not as fun.
Well, and a wet year is fine as long as it stays. But the problem you get is this corn is, waist high or shorter, somewhere in there. And it's not rooting down because there's no reason to root down. So if you keep getting rain, that's fine. But once it stops raining, that corn usually can't root down fast enough, and then it really gets stressed. So anyway, we can talk about all that another time. But today, we got, this is going to be, as Sawyer would say, this is going to be a banger.
Yeah. Today, we've got a guest who proves you can make it to the absolute pinnacle of professional sports and be a farm kid at heart. Grey Zabel grew up in Pierre, South Dakota. He was an All-American offensive lineman at North Dakota State, turned down massive NIL money to stay loyal to his program, and was drafted 18th overall for the Seattle Seahawks. In his rookie year, he started at left guard and just won Super Bowl 60. Not a bad rookie season. But off the field, he's the owner of Northland Farms, LLC, taking over his late grandfather's land in South Dakota. He says his life is built on 4 pillars: faith, family, farming, and football. We're going to talk about winning a Super Bowl, the state of farming, duck hunting, and why he spent his NFL money on dirt. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Well, shit, boys, we're live. So Grey Zabel, welcome to Barn Talk, brother.
Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. This place is sweet. This is unbelievable.
We appreciate you making the trip. We have been fans of yours for a while now. I've followed you on Instagram. I'm like, plays in the NFL, farm kid at heart. This would be a perfect episode. So, man, no, we appreciate you making the trip, and we're excited. We're going to hit you with a good one right off the rip. So, you were the 18th overall pick in the NFL draft. You just won a Super Bowl as a rookie, starting guard for the Seattle Seahawks. And yet, you've said publicly that the day you're done playing football, you're going right back to sitting in a tractor in South Dakota. Why is the farm the ultimate end game for you?
Dude. What a tough question.
I know.
We're throwing you in the fire.
No, I just think from a young age, I mean, I believe I'm a 5th generation farmer. And from a young age, I've just been interested. Like, there's nothing better in the summer going up to the grandparents, going up to the farm and all that. And then we were talking, it's just the peace of mind, being in the middle of nowhere in a cornfield. And that's really what I want to do. And so, like, I think from the moment we got done with the Super Bowl, I just already had a checklist of things I had to get done at the farm before OTAs started up this spring. So it's one of those deals. That's the end goal, and I think that's going to be the coolest part about this journey is I know what I'm wanting to do after I'm done playing football. So I can play football for as long as I want. And at the end of the day, like, I think my true identity is in farming, and whenever the day comes that I'm done playing ball, I'm immediately back to the farm, which is the cool part of my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the freedom too. We were talking last night. The freedom farming gives you. Yep. It's a peace, but it's the freedom to be able to, do what you love, but have a little bit of set your own schedule. And
yeah, you got a million things you got to get done, but you have the freedom of saying, I'll piss on that. I'm not doing it today. I'm going to go do this instead. But you still got to get it all done. But it's like you're your own person standing over you. Go, you got to get that done.
Yeah.
It's like, I just finished side dressing, and I think my fertilizer guy, I don't know how long I had the rig, but I think longer than I've ever had it, because with all the rain, it's like you go out and you're like, is it dry enough? And then you make one round, you're like, oh, no, this is not dry enough. I'm lucky I got out of there. And then it gets dry enough, and then you go, and then it rains, and then you're out. And finally got that off the list, so I can go work on everything
now
that
you can
I'm
just
behind
fuck
on.
off.
Yeah, well, that's all we do here. Hogs basically raise themselves. So, I mean, check them once a week, whatever. They'll be fine.
Yeah, just make sure the feed line ran.
Well, yeah, we got those fancy controls that you just look at the app, and it's like, oh, power's on. They must be good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going fishing.
Yeah. Well, is there a moment when you were growing up that you were just like, yeah, this is in me. This is what I'm doing. Like, this is what I want out of life.
God, yeah. I think from a young age, there's nothing better than riding in the tractor with your grandpa and like him doing just kind of the daily chores or like things you had to get done. And you're just riding in there and you're like, this is the life. Like, and then what you don't see on the flip side of that is like something breaking. Like, then you're like, is this really for me? Like having to be underneath a planter or something, trying to fix something, or you have a screw up and you back up with a planter in the ground and you're sitting there trying to get the mud out of the opening wheels. You're like, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Like, I'm in over my head. But I think back during COVID when we didn't have school and I got to plant like, God, I can't even tell you. I think it was like 200 acres with a 6-row planter. That's when like that week.
You were hooked.
Oh yeah. I like fell in love with it. It was awesome. Everything didn't go right, but it was sweet. And something came out of the ground. So we did something right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was the time where I'm like, all right, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you can have an experience like that and don't mess anything up to where your dad or your grandpa just absolutely rips your butt for, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Or when it doesn't come up, it's your fault. That's a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think the coolest thing that we do at our farm is like, we embrace like the fuck ups.
Yeah.
You're getting your picture taken in front of it. Like there's a
awesome.
There's a middle finger in every single picture. If it's you're stuck, my dad bent a snout on our corn head. If it's I backed into the backless shed, hooked up to a sprayer, trying to hook up to a sprayer, bent that bar to where it was like cursive. And you're getting your picture in front of it, and then we're keeping that deal in the shop of like
there's your coffee table book. Sora and I were just talking about doing like a coffee table book of photos around the farm. That would be if
funny.
You could get just a bunch of people that had that and just assemble like a book of
fuck ups.
Yeah,
Farm fuck ups.
I'd buy that. I would buy that. So
it's hilarious too. Like my dad got stuck trying to like combine just a little bit of corn on the edge of a slough, and he just slid right in. I've never got my phone out of my pocket so fast because when you get stuck,
you're an idiot.
Yeah. You knew that was too wet.
What were you thinking?
You're sitting there and you're like, well, my bad. Like
I've seen you do this 15 times, but you don't dare say that.
Yeah, yeah. But when he got stuck, my phone was out of my pocket so fast to get a picture of that because you got to document it.
Yep.
And then you're sending it to the family text, getting a few ha-ha-has on the image, and it's great. Like you're living large.
Well, now you're probably bigger than him, so he can't really say shit now.
He's still got that old man strength.
Oh, he's got the farmer strength. Yeah.
He grabs your wrist or something, and it's like, your arm's gone.
You get the neck grab.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Torque's got you got some mighty strength too.
Yep. That,
low key.
That's the church grip. That's when your kids, you got a kid on each side of you in church, and they're causing trouble. You just give them that little grip, and then as they squirm, you just increase the pressure.
No, you would always do it, and then you'd lean over and you'd say, "Do I need to take you in the car and beat your ass, or are you going to shape?"
I would have never said that in church.
Yeah, whatever. You made it known. Hey, time to shaping up, buddy. Yeah, but
okay, let's back up. So growing up, you were did you play a lot of sports? So you're a sports family.
Oh yeah.
What all did you do?
Yeah, so growing up, which I love my parents for, they let us do anything we wanted to sports wise. If it was basketball, baseball, football, I even played soccer. We wrestled. I did cross country my 6th and 7th grade year because we didn't have football.
Yep.
That, I tell you what, like if there were smartphones and you could record that would have sold for millions of dollars.
You weren't a graceful runner?
No, me in the back of the pack, just like huffing and puffing, coming in dead last in cross country meets.
Yeah.
But so we did everything. I think that was the coolest part about my upbringing is like, I didn't know what I wanted to do in college. I thought I was going to play baseball for a while, all through high school. I thought I was going to go pitch somewhere and play baseball. And then you start playing football and you get a little bit better and a little bit better. And then it's like University of Iowa's calling and Iowa State. And you're like, oh, maybe I have a chance to play football. And you just kind of go from there. And then you wait till kind of the very last second to decide if I got to play football or baseball. And I chose football. My body probably wishes I would have chose baseball, but here we are.
Yeah.
I think I heard you tell the story that your dad kind of made a good point with you about like baseball versus football. How about one, like you can play you can play co-ed softball or whatever, but once you take the pads off, how did that
my
go?
dad's like famous saying that he told us is like, so he played football in college for a Division II up in Northeast South Dakota. And he said, like, he would always tell us growing up, like, you can play city league basketball when you're older. You can play beer league softball or amateur baseball. And you can do all that. But, like, when you're done playing football, you'll never put the pads back on.
Yeah.
Now you're starting to see some, like, 60, 70-year-old guys, like, go out and play, like, Sunday scrimmage, just lighting each other up, which is comedy.
It's funny. Oh, my gosh.
It's when you're done playing football, you're done. And it's you kind of appreciate that more as you like start getting older. And now at this level in the NFL, it's like, okay, like this might be my last play of playing football ever. And so you just find a little more appreciation when it comes to playing football or putting those pads on. And you just said that from as long as I can remember.
I felt myself getting hangry. I had to come get a snack. If you could see crop issues before they cost yield, would you? That's exactly what Sky Scout from Landis does. With advanced in-season aerial imagery and agronomic insight, Sky Scout helps farmers catch stress earlier and make smarter decisions across every acre. Learn how Sky Scout works for your operation at landis.ag. Now, I'm going to finish my snack and get back to it.
So why? So you're getting your schools, your offers, you're going on visits. Why North Dakota State? Like what drew you there?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those deals where I got 3 offers. I got to go play football. I had North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and South Dakota. And being from South Dakota, like I think everybody in the state of South Dakota thought I was going to choose one of those 2. And I was leaning towards North Dakota State, but like in the back of my mind, I'm like, I think it'd be sweet to play at Iowa State, or Kansas State. And so we went on visits to those 3 schools, and Iowa's offensive line coach at the time said I would never be big enough and I wouldn't be able to play in the Big Ten. And so I was like sitting there, I'm like, damn. And at the time I'm 6'4", 230 pounds, like soaking wet after a huge breakfast. And we go down to Kansas State, and Kansas State kind of says the same thing. Like, I didn't have the frame. I wasn't quick enough. So I was like, damn, like, okay. And then go up to North Dakota State, and I still remember Coach Kramer, our strength coach. I get on the scale, and I weigh 230 pounds, and he just starts laughing. He goes, oh, yeah, I can get you to 300. Don't worry about that. I'll get you to 300. And I was like, here we go. And at the end of the visit or wherever, they take you to a trophy room, and they have like, I can't even remember. I think they had like 8 national championships already at the time. And I'm like, this is sweet. Like, I want to be a part of this. Like, I want to go win. And I chose there, and world comes full circle because the Iowa O-line coach at the time that said that became my head coach the last year at North Dakota State. And now he's one of my really good buddies. And
did you impress upon him that you'd actually you thought that you might have the frame to play?
Oh, when he showed up, he comes walking in that first team meeting, and I'm in the back corner of my normal spot, and I'm just death glaring him. I'm like, this dude, like, he told me, like, and I, like, before my senior year, I got, like, reached out to, like, transfer, like, pre-portaled is what they call it, like, to transfer for big money, and I was like, nah, I'm staying. Like, I'm going to stay at NDSU where they believed in me, and he comes walking in, and I'm like, I can't wait to tell this guy. Like, and he remembered it. He got a good chuckle out of it. He apologized. But no, we look back at that and laugh. And now it's all like funny and stuff because where I'm at and how it kind of turned out. And I'd never change it, obviously, but oh God, it was funny.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's good motivation.
Yeah. Put a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. So going from going from college to the NFL, like, is that one of those things where you felt like, so like in high school, you said you just got better and better and better. In college was kind of the same thing where you just got better and better and better. And then you were just getting closer to your senior year and you're like, I think I could play in the NFL. Or did you kind of have that? Did you kind of always have that thought of like, man, I think I can go to the NFL no matter what?
No. Not at all. I would say up until my sophomore year of college, I was hopefully going to graduate college and then go back to the farm and get into like crop insurance or egg banking and then farm part-time and stuff and just do that. And then going into my junior year, one of my best buddies was like, I think you got a shot to play in the NFL. And at the time, I think we were like 10 beers deep. Like, I'm like, yeah, right, dude. Like, good one. Like, good one. And you go through junior year and stuff. You have some agents reaching out to you, wanting to represent you for the NFL. And then into senior year, you're like, okay, like I can maybe do this. You're getting some like draft buzz and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like there's always that self-doubt.
Yeah.
And same exact way in farming. Am I going to make it? Is this going to be the year that goes south? And you always have that, but then you start having a good game, and then you have another good game, and then it starts like, okay, I can do this. And then you're getting a phone call April 24th saying we're gonna take you with the 18th pick, and at that time you're like, holy shit, like this is getting real.
Yeah, this is serious now. I feel bad. You said that about, you thought you might go back and do like crop insurance or something like that. I feel bad for all the insurance agents out there because one of the most famous clips about being drafted is that clip of Tom Brady talking about how he just kept falling in the draft. And then he goes out and he walks around the block with his dad. And then the Patriots call. And the first thing he says is he goes, I was just like, oh, thank God I don't have to be an insurance salesman. And every time I hear that, I'm like, poor insurance guys. That's not a bad gig. But
yeah. That's such a classic clip,
oh,
too.
gosh, it's so good.
And my entire college career, I thought like, no shot. And then it happens. And you're, like you said, you're like, I got to go play football for at least another few months, another year, another few years, like waiting on my big boy job till then. So that can be on the back burner.
Yeah, that's badass.
You don't have to quite hit adulting 101 yet.
So what was that moment like getting drafted 18th overall? Like, did you know, did you have a feeling you were going to get picked in the first round that high? Describe that moment.
You hear speculations and you have like no idea though. And I felt so bad. A few of the guys in my draft class, like the prank calls, like that would be brutal. And like you look back now and they probably like laugh about it and stuff. But that would be brutal because in that moment, you're just sitting there, you have your ringer on and you're just like, everyone else is talking, but like you are just so like zoned in to wait for that phone ring.
Yep.
And you got to think like, okay, you're not getting called the first pick for sure. All the way through like maybe the top 10 to 12 picks, like you don't got to worry about that. You're just watching as Pierre, hoping your buddies get drafted and all that stuff. And then like it starts to be like where your agent's like, hey, this might be your time. You start texting them and stuff. And then you're just sitting there and it's kind of on edge. And I remember like somebody texted me beforehand and they're like, you can't choose where you go to. Just enjoy the moment and be happy to whoever gives you a chance. And that phone starts ringing on pick 16 and it's Renton, Washington. And I'm like, Renton? I have no clue the state of Washington or where anything's at and stuff. I'm like, Renton, like, hello? This is so-and-so with the Seattle Seahawks. We loved you, everything in the pre-draft. Like, we're going to take you here with pick 18. And you're looking on your screen, it's pick 16.
Oh, wow.
You're going through, you're talking to them and stuff. And my parents obviously know and stuff. And like a few people at my draft party were like, we honestly thought you were going to the Bengals because it was going to be a next pick. But then you realize like the draft has to be behind on TV for these teams to pick.
Yeah.
But it was sweet. It was what a experience.
Surreal.
Yeah.
That's unreal, dude.
So from the time that happened, like how long is it before you go meet anybody from the Seahawks and like all of I'm sure that it like you gotta kind of get your wits about you as to what that looks like going to play for them.
Oh yeah, it was first, so I got drafted Thursday night, and I think within 5 minutes after taking that phone call, somebody brought a beer up to me, like, dude, take the edge off, like, have a drink and stuff, and you're like, okay, yeah, perfect, and then you get on the phone and you're doing all this media and all that, and then Seahawks people are reaching out to you saying like, hey, like, we'd love to get you on a plane, blah, blah, blah. Well, my parents scheduled a draft party for Friday night, thinking like I was going to probably go like round 2 or 3 from when they scheduled it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, hey, this is going to sound really bad, but I can't.
Yeah.
My mom's going to kill me if I miss this draft party. Like, I can't fly out tomorrow. And they're like, oh, no worries. Like, we'll get you a first flight Saturday morning to get out here and see everybody and meet everybody. Like, no worries. You have a blast. I was like, okay, perfect. And then it was full throttle. Like, we enjoyed the night, both Thursday and Friday night. We didn't get much sleep.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's awesome. What was the biggest like, holy shit, I'm in the NFL moment? Like, that was the difference between college and NFL.
I honestly think, like, when you walk in to that first, it was a preseason game versus the Raiders, and you walk in and you see your jersey on the shoulder pads with Zabel on the back, and you're like, holy shit, like, this is happening. Like, I know it's preseason, but you're like, I'm about to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to go out there on national television and play football. And that was like my first, like, kind of holy shit, this is happening moment. And it's sweet. It's nothing like it.
What about, like, on the field? Like, was there during your rookie season, was there somebody you went against, or did somebody do a move on you that you were like, holy shit?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was, well, first off, all training camp, like, the first 2 weeks, I thought I was getting cut. Like, Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, Jaron Reed, those guys, I couldn't block them. Like, it was just a free pass to a quarterback whenever the play was called. And I remember calling my dad, and I'm like, Dad, this isn't good. Like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. Like, I'm going to get a desk job. I'm going to work in the cubicle. Like, that's going to be my life. Like, yeah. I couldn't do it. And then kind of started catching stride like week 3 and, like, understanding the tempo and the pace and the speed that it's played at. And then it just keeps on working and working. And then you get into that first game, and this was my true welcome to the NFL moment. It's like the first or second play of the game, and it was a pass play. Dude just bull rushes me and puts me right into Drew Lock. And I'm like, Drew, thanks for getting the ball out. Like, appreciate that. Like,
Yeah.
And then it was like, you kind of like wake up and you're like, all right, like, I go against 3 of the best interior D linemen in the National Football League every single day in practice. Like, just take a deep breath. And from there, it was okay. But yeah, that was that like first or second play against the Raiders game. I just got worked.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the NFL.
Does Max Crosby, does he always play on the edge, or does he sometimes come inside, or no?
Yeah, he kind of
moves around.
Yeah, he does move around. And that's why, like, there's those unicorns of defensive linemen, Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, I'm missing guys for sure, like Trey Hendrickson, like those guys are Jeffrey Simmons, like those guys are true unicorns because it doesn't matter where they line up, they're going to dominate. And you just got to be able to stay in front of them for
as long
hopefully
as you can.
2.5 seconds
Yeah.
for the QB to get the ball out, because it's one of those deals like they're going to win. It's just how quick do they win? And that's where you see those really good offensive linemen in the NFL, like Joe Tooney. Those guys, like, yeah, they get beat, but they aren't getting beat till
until it doesn't matter.
4.5 seconds into play. Yeah, where it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just got to make it long enough.
Yeah.
It's like bull riding.
Yep.
Way shorter.
Way shorter. There's a lot of speculation right now of a division rival of your guys's that is pretty good, that they just got Myles Garrett, and there's some talk that they might have somebody that's been pretty good in the NFL come out of retirement to join him. What do you think about this chatter about Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett teaming up, especially you being a guard?
I jolted awake this morning thinking Aaron Donald was coming out of retirement, but it was just the Iowa Thunder. So it was just a rainstorm in Iowa.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
No, it's first, Myles Garrett, unbelievable player. Like, no doubt about it. And it's when that trade went down, somebody in the locker room was like, Browns just gave us a Christmas present in middle of June. And everyone's like, great. Like, we got to go against this guy. But the the Rams were so talented up front that, like, yeah, he's a really good player, but like they had 6 guys that were all really good players, and they just traded one out for Myles Garrett, who's elite.
Yeah.
But they're still a great defensive line, so it's they're going to be really good, and we're going to have to be prepared for them. And at the end of the day, it's the NFL. It's the nature of the business. It's,
Another day at the office.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
I bet it's awesome to play against somebody like that. I mean, yeah, it's tough, but like the honor to be able to play with he's Hall of Famer. He's
First
gonna be
ballot, 100%.
So it's pretty cool to go to battle with him. Well, you won a Super Bowl your first year. Like what most guys play their whole entire career and never win one, or it takes them forever to win one. How do you process reaching the peak of the sport like that early on?
Yeah, I think the thing I just fall back to is, like, in high school, I won 3 state championships in football. In college, I won 2 national championships, and then you go to the NFL. And I think the cool part about it was you're always chasing to win the last game of the season. And then in the NFL, the season was so long that I look back and I truly didn't appreciate what we just did. Like, in the moment, I was not appreciative of what we were doing, the teammates around me, how we were doing it. Like, and I look back and I'm like, now in this next season, like, I'm going to appreciate it a lot more, because it's, you hit the rookie wall like week 14, week 16, and you're like, why am I playing football right now? This is brutal. Let me go home for Christmas. I want to see my parents. Like, and then it just turns into like a job. You're just waking up, punching the time card, like you're not having fun. And then you win the Super Bowl and you go have that parade, and that's when it's set in about like what we just did. Like, millions of people in the street of Seattle were, you're taking shots at tequila, chasing it with beer. Not a great combination for you guys watching. Awful combination. And you're celebrating with your team, and you realize what you just did, and you're like, that's pretty sweet. Like, that's so surreal. You are at the top of the mountain. You just did what every other NFL player is chasing. And I look back and I'm like, dude, I didn't appreciate week 18 going to San Fran, a rival, and beating them, or beating them again in the divisional, or the unbelievable games we had late in the season versus the Rams. Like, you don't appreciate those, but you look back and you're like, that was pretty sweet. Like, that was pretty special. Like, kind of makes me mad that I wasn't more in the moment. But when you're going through it, it's like, give me the next day. Give me the next day.
Well, that's something we talked about last night. I think a lot of people just look at like pro athletes and are like, oh, like, just deal with it. You're getting paid millions of dollars or whatever it is to play a sport that we would all love to play, whatever. But it's like any job, I'm sure. Like, you have those days where it's like, it's a grind. Like,
well, and the mental side of it.
I asked you last night, is it more physical or mental? And with any job, like, we have this podcast every week, and it's like, there's some times where neither one of us might not want to do it. And that's just part of any job. Like, if you're going after something, you're going to have days where you're just going to be like, no matter how great it is, or you feel like you're doing the thing that you always wanted to do, you're still going to have days where you're just like, God, I don't want to do this.
I told you last night, like, Sawyer's like, oh, we're having Gray on. And I'm like, God, I hope this kid's not a fucking prick. I don't need an entitled football player, but you passed. You're good shit.
I'm sure that, like, they don't get that, but I'm sure it's just like any other job where you got those days, you hit those walls.
It truly is. And there's days where it's like, it's not even a job. It's your passion. It's what you love. Like, you're getting paid to block a 3-tech and lift weights and hang out with your buddies for 8 hours out of the day. And it's like, it's the greatest. And then there's days you wake up and you got a AC joint, grade 2 AC joint separation, and you're just like, your shoulders drooping down as you walk, or you got a bone contusion and a tweak in your MCL, and you're like struggling to bend your knee. And then it's like, this sucks. Like, this is a job. Like, they don't pay us enough to handle with this. But no, it's occupational hazard, as we always talk about. Like, it's just.
Speaking of occupational hazards, this is a theme that we hear about. One of the pleasures that you get when you are a rookie and you get drafted high enough is you get to treat your group to dinner.
Yep.
What was your experience like? And I guess correct me if I'm wrong, but the group that you get to treat, being the O-lines are notorious for the level of food that they're gonna require at that dinner. So how did that go? Like when does that happen?
Yeah, that happened our bye week after week 18, like in the playoffs that Friday. And I still remember we beat San Fran week 18, and this will be etched into my mind forever. And they came up to me in the locker room and they're like, "Hey, rookie dinner's Friday." And I'm like, "Oh God, this is gonna hurt." Call my financial advisor now. Like, this is gonna hurt. And I work with an unbelievable agency who represents me in the marketing girls there, Braden and Bailey, unbelievable. And I call them and I'm like, "Hey, rookie dinner, got to do Metropolitan. Please help me out. Like, can you guys set this up?" They're like, "Yep, we'll handle it. We'll get it taken care of." I'm like, "Okay, perfect." And they send me a schedule, like an itinerary of like, this is when the party bus picks you up. This is when you're getting to the Metropolitan Grill in downtown Seattle. This is when it's picking you up to take you to the casino afterwards. Like, this is when it's going to drop you off after the casino. And at that moment, I'm like, okay, we're in good hands, but this is still going to hurt. Like, this is going to be expensive. And we show up there and we get there and they already got the appetizers on there. It's like Wagyu meatballs. It's the bruschetta. That's unbelievable. They had, like I was saying, they have some sort of, I got to find out what it was. It was like some sort of butter or something that was on before you put the tomatoes. And then like shrimp and lobster cocktail. And they just had these huge trays of them on this table. And the vet there was like, this is this you'd planned well and stuff. And then it's the little menu, the little sheet, not the full menu, just a little sheet.
It's like the chef's menu.
Yep. And the waiter tried saving me too when Josh, our vet, was like, where's the menu at? He was like, "Oh, since it's a larger group, this is what we prepared, like all this." And he's like, looks at me, he's like, nah, you ain't getting away with this. Like, bring us the full menu. Everyone's getting full menus right there. I'm like, oh, it's over.
How many people were you treating that night?
I think there was 11 or 12 offensive linemen. We had a tight end or two come with, as of course.
They're like not going to give up a free meal.
Yeah, absolutely. And you get to a point where like that week in the locker room, our O-line vets, like they are inviting everybody they can. Yep. Like, Sam, Coop, you guys want to come to O-line dinner? Like rookie dinner, you guys are invited. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, there's another $1,000 to $1,500 right there. Like every person he invites, you're just adding it up in your head.
Yep.
And then you get there and then we start ordering wine and give me a couple bottles of Camus wine. And I'm like, holy, that's not cheap. And he's just like, the worst part was the Louis 13. I still don't know what it is. It tastes awful. But Louis 13, doing rounds of those, it's like $330 a shot. And you're like, that's a bag of corn seed right there. You're just putting everything into farm terms. Like, but no, it was good. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. It was still quite a bit. They scared me. They punked me pretty good with the first bill. And
so yeah, when they brought you the first bill, we talked about this last night, and something I didn't even think about. I was talking to my wife, and so you manned up and you get out your wallet and you put your credit card in there. But did you know if you had a credit limit high enough to pay that?
No idea.
Yeah. So were you like,
it was probably declining. It was going to probably decline. Like,
yeah. Were you like, okay.
Because you had a number
spending.
Before you went in, you told us last night, you had a number in your head where you're like, all right, if it's here, I'll just swipe the card.
Yep.
And then the first bill comes out and you're like,
it eclipses by a huge amount what you thought it was going to be.
I was like, it's like, I may have been cool as a cucumber in the moment, but I've never been shaking in my boots so bad when I first opened that up. And I'm like, I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is a tractor. Like, I could buy a nice high-powered horsepower tractor for this.
Yeah.
and I'm having to spend it on a dinner for like my buddies and all that stuff. And then you like put in the card and you're like, okay, whatever. Like it's going to be worse if you just don't pay it.
Yep.
And all the guys are going to think like this prima donna dude, like classic. So you just pay it. And as he was walking away with it, I still remember Josh Jones, our vet, grabbed the waiter's wrist and he's like, nah, he's good. Take these back. Like he's good. Give him the real one. Like, and I'm like,
They were testing you.
I'm like, this.
You made the right decision.
Yeah. This is just everything. All my good karma was just used right in that moment. Like I'm going to have bad luck for the next 20 years strictly based off of that moment of that happening. And it was good because I ended up, we went to the casino afterwards and won some money back. So couldn't complain.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
That's awesome.
You also made a pro move. The party bus picked you up, and shout out to your marketing ladies having tequila in the party bus before you.
Yeah, we had some drinks on. Yeah, you got to loosen them up because if they walked in there sober,
thirsty and hungry.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
That's another.
That's gonna be much worse. But
yeah,
it was hilarious. Like Metropolitan Grill, super fancy steakhouse down there, and I'm asking for a beer to drink. Everyone else is like wine. Give me a tequila on the rocks. Give me a tequila soda lime, like all that. And I'm like, please tell me you guys got like a light beer that's non-IPA.
Well, so that's a good. That I thought about that too. So when you go out to Seattle, is Busch Light anywhere to be found in the state of Washington?
It's tough. You gotta do your searching.
Yeah.
I know there's one bar by our facility that keeps Busch Light on hand, and I appreciate the hell out of Dino's, the little dive bar.
Yep.
Then you got to look at like your Safeways, your quality food, all that stuff, and look at those stores to try and figure it out. But I'll let you in on a hint. This Rainier beer, it's not too bad. It's not Busch Light, right?
Right.
But it's not too bad.
It gets you through in a spot.
Yeah. Some people say like it gets the job done.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, there's kind of parallels with being an offensive lineman and also being a farmer. You know, you're in the trenches. It's definitely an underappreciated position in football. You know, everybody knows an offensive line is super important, but you don't get the recognition you probably should. And, you know, I think farming sometimes is the same way. People show up to the grocery store, they grab whatever they want, and they think, well, it just shows up, I grab it, I don't even think twice about it. And I just think it's cool. Like, do you feel that connect sometimes? Like that you're kind of in two worlds where you do some really important work, but it might not get appreciated enough, I guess.
No, that's, you said it perfect. I have two examples of describing offensive line and farming. When you're driving down the road, right? And it's the same way with offensive line and football. When you're playing football, you're driving down the road and you're looking on both sides and there's just fields of corn, wheat, sunflowers, soybeans, and you're driving. You aren't thinking anything of it. Just keep on driving. And then you see a field and there's like 4 rows that didn't plant or something. And you're thinking like, oh, what dumbass did that, right? Same thing with football. You're playing the game, you're watching the game. O-lineman misses a block or like loses to a defensive lineman, guy gets a sack, and everyone in the stadium's like, that dumbass.
Look at that idiot.
Yeah, dude couldn't block his guy.
Yep.
And then it goes back to you're driving through cornfields and stuff, and the game just keeps on going. And that's what playing offensive line and farming is like. And I think, like you said, farming and football are very, very similar in ways of like you work all off season and all season farming to harvest one time, or you work the entire week to play one game on Sunday, and you don't. Nobody sees that work that you do. They just see the finished product, or at the end of the day, like, can you grow 225 bushel corn? Well, nobody saw you side dressing or fertilizing or going through all the work with the data in the off season of what hybrid to put down or how much fertilizer to use, and going through your books of break even.
They just saw the 4 rows that didn't come up that the planter skipped, and like, that guy's an idiot.
Yep.
They don't see the 90 blocks you made. Yeah. They all remember the one you missed.
Exactly. And that's they don't realize like, oh, maybe it was a system malfunction or a sensor gone wrong on your and 4 rows of a planter that's causing this issue. Like they're just seeing that 4 rows that didn't get planted, and they're like, dude, this guy sucks at farming. Yeah. How could you not realize you weren't planting on those those 4 rows? But that's perfect parallels of farming and football.
Yeah, no, that's great. Let's go into farming now. Let's talk about your farm and your family's legacy and just that whole thing. So you formed Northland Farms, or is that okay? So you have your own farm, Northland Farms LLC, that you picked up some ground. When did you pick up?
Yep.
When did you pick up some ground?
Yep. So Northland Farms, it was originally my grandpa's, and then he passed away in 2019, and there was kind of like a limbo period of it was just kind of there. And then in 2024, it would have been the fall of 23, I got an opportunity to kind of start farming that next year of 24, and it just kind of 242 acres, and it's not much, but it's honest work, as I like to say. And it was one of those deals where I'm in college, I'm 21 years old, I'm broke as can be, and I'm asking my dad, and my dad was all for it. He was like, you should farm it, like go do it. And I was like, okay, well, I have no money. I'm going to have to put together this pitch to the bank and figure out how to get an operating note. And my dad's like, okay, well, start doing your due diligence and then just kind of run it by me. And so I was like, okay. I still remember spring of 24. I was like, dude, how could a bank not lend me money? And I do this, and my dad's like, okay, what kind of equity do you got? I'm like, well, I got like $600. My dad's like, okay, maybe 3 bags of corn. Yep. Awesome. What type of collateral you got? And I was like, well, I got my pickup, like my nice 2016 F-150 Lariat. And he goes, awesome. So the pickup that has my name on the title, you're putting down for collateral. Yeah, that's going to go great, Gray. Like, can't wait to hear this. Can I just be a fly on the wall for this conversation with a banker? And I'm like, well, this is what I'm going to fertilize, all this. And he was like, gotcha. So, you're going to have to grow 333 bushel corn to even break even at $3 corn with what you're paying in land rent and fertilizer price and all this stuff. And I'm sitting there and I'm like,
you're really trying to talk me into this, Dad. You're doing a great job.
I'm like, yeah, this is okay. Well, so the bank's not happening. And I'm like, great, I can't farm. And my dad was like, you know what? I'll be your banker. And that's the greatest. Like, I will say I have the best parents in the world. And my dad is the man, like awesome. And he carries so many hats, like dad, banker, best friend, partner. Now he's a land tenant for me. So he's renting the land that I own from me. Like, he's awesome. And so he's like, I'll stake you. Like, what could possibly go wrong? So I farmed in 2024, and obviously you lose money first year farming. Like, anybody could tell you that. Yeah. And I had to write an IOU to my dad for like 20 grand. It was brutal.
Yeah.
And so then you get kind of your first big boy paycheck with the NFL and all this, or a marketing deal you did, and you just start slowly chipping away at it. And then it's like, hey, can I borrow some more money for land rent here before I get maybe drafted and make some more money? And then here we go again. And last year, and it was one of those deals that you can't appreciate how much the opportunity that he gave you until you look back at it and you're like, he was either crazy, dumb, or really, really loved me. And
I think all those
probably
things.
All three.
And he's probably thinking, well, you know what? If this NFL thing doesn't work, I'm going to have an indentured servant for as long as that kid lives. He's going to be my cheap labor I'm going to keep him stuck here for a long time.
Yeah, he's going to pick rocks for the next 20 years to pay me back, and it's going to be
awesome.
Yeah.
Me and Mom are moving to the villages. Just have him take care of it.
Yep.
So let's talk about your grandpa's legacy a little bit. Talk about your grandpa. So that's where the family farm was, is at your grandpa's house, and you'd go there, and that's probably where you really formed your love for farming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Grandpa Denny, he is known statewide of South Dakota, strictly based off the legacy that he left. He never missed a sporting event. He was always there supporting us. When we went hunting or fishing, he was right there taking us with. He was the greatest dude, hands down, I've ever met in my entire life. And I got buddies who still to this day said like he was awesome. We miss him. Like he's the best. And it was one of those, the best way to describe him was, I think in the summer of our baseball games and stuff, he would be out there chasing foul balls with little kids going to pick up foul balls. Cause that's just what he was. That's just what he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's badass. What about like farm wise, like was it his dream to always pass the farm on? Like, did he always want somebody to get involved and keep this farm's legacy going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The way our farm's set up is our main place. It's just really for kind of hunting. There's food lots or food plots, tree belts. It's built for hunting. And then there's our farmlands just kind of all around that spread out. And so he always like wanted it to be like a place where everybody could go to enjoy and to go opening weekend of pheasant season, opening weekend of deer season, hunt over Thanksgiving up there. And so now it's just trying to keep that legacy living. And how can we improve it? How can we take out some old shitty fence lines and mow it up and make it look nice to like, you look back and you're like, what would Grandpa Denny want?
Yeah.
When we're looking at this stuff and spraying it, making sure there's not a ton of weeds and stuff like that. So that's the legacy that he really left behind for us.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's one of the things about farming that I love the most. And I think that's part of the reason that I think farm kids could be, I guess you'd say, quote unquote, built different is you don't know how powerful knowing where your family came from is, but man, it's such a driver. Like as far as like what you want to do and where you want to go and what you want to do with the farm and how you look at things, when you have that perspective of what your ancestors, fought for, what they lived for, what their legacy was, like that's a big driver for me. And I know that's a big driver for a lot of farm kids is like, and just small business owners kids, or business kids that are going to get the business passed down to them. It's like the importance of knowing where your family came from. I don't think you can stress it enough.
Yeah. You said it perfectly right there is when you start farming, right? Some people, it might be a burden on some guy's shoulders. It might be weight on their shoulders but for me, it's a driver. Like I don't want to be the one that loses the family farm. Like I want to pass it on to my kids so they can pass it on to their kids. And how do we make it better just year after year after year to make it more successful to where like when my grandpa passed away, my dad kind of took over shop there and started just slowly improving it. And now we're improving it together. And like you said, and it's the same way here at this place here. It's you want to make things better for your next generation, for their next generation. And you guys are doing an unbelievable job with what you got. And it's so cool to see stories like you and have this podcast and show the world kind of what drives you. And it's pretty sweet.
Well, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It means a lot to me. And, it's funny, like most guys probably taking an 18th overall, they're buying cars, they're buying a house, they're buying, chains, they're buying whatever, right? You're like, piss on that. I'm buying tax write-offs. I'm buying some ground,
Yeah, give me some tax write-offs. Give me that chore truck out there.
Yeah.
Doesn't do much, but it's pretty sweet. And it's when I got drafted, it was one of those deals I was like, all right, one time in my life, I'm getting the truck that I wanted. And as a kid growing up, nothing's sweeter than a Ford Raptor. So you're like, all right, I'm getting it. I'm doing it.
And you did it. It's out there.
It'll haul seed corn.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll do the trick.
Not as many bags as like a 2,500 or something like that, but
they deliver.
Yeah.
They'll deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when you get to this, when you like get in the game and you're where you're at, like, is that the name of the game when you get to that level is like, man, taxes are a bitch. Like we gotta play this game of this tax code. We gotta buy some write-offs. We gotta like, is that like your main focus now with like preserving this and how can I, farm, but also how can I do this the right way,
Yeah. To start, you look up a Google search and just put in like Grey Zabel. The first 3 options is like probably like net worth, contract, Seattle Seahawks. Yep. And like your contract is extremely public, and all these people see like, oh, this is how many millions he's got. Well, I'm not going to see half of that due to taxes. And then you're sitting there and you're like, okay, with what I got, how can I mitigate my tax loss with buying stuff that's going to appreciate in value? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that Ford Raptor's cool, but every mile it depreciates $1.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there and you're like, great. So, okay, you're driving that for looks, and because a 12-year-old Gray wanted that. But you try and figure out, okay, what's my greatest return on investment? How can I spin it to where I'm able to get a tax break from it? And then 3, it's like, okay, how can I save as much to start investing? Because compound interest and the rule of 72, it's, I'm 24 years old. Okay. So my money has a chance to double 6 times before I die.
Yep. Something that I did not even think about, and maybe you can, I think this is the way it is. So is your, like, when it comes time to do taxes for you, football player, Gray, is that a complicated deal? Because do states tax you when you play there, even though your paycheck comes from Seattle, Washington?
Yep.
But like when you play in Los Angeles, doesn't California tax
13%?
Yeah. So how the hell? What is that?
So your game check gets taxed based on where you played.
Correct.
So what's that look like at the end of the year when you're meeting with an? You've got different. So every check, not every check, but you've got a bunch of different taxes from a bunch of different states that all have to be paid. Am I right?
Yep. Yeah. So, well, I'll just break down our pay schedule because I'm sure a lot of people don't understand or know. So there's 18 weeks of the NFL season. You get 18 game checks. They're split in half. The NFL started that probably 5 to 10 years ago, I would assume. They're split in half, so you end up getting paid for 36 weeks out of the year. And then you can tell them when you fill out your like direct deposit form how much you want to take. Do you want to take the minimum amount? And do you want to take 25% for taxes, all this stuff? And I was like, take the max amount out because I don't want to have to pay taxes come April.
Yeah.
And so they take it right out of your paycheck, and then you go on this app and it shows you we get paid every Friday. It shows you what your paycheck was. So like when I play in Seattle, half of a game check's like, I don't know, probably 14 grand or something. But then when you play in California and it's 9, I'm like, God,
holy cow. That's good old like, California.
It's a beautiful state. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Love vacationing there. But like when you live there, it's like, ooh.
Thanks, Gavin. I appreciate it.
That hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I was actually talking to a guy at the men's breakfast this morning because he asked who we were having on the podcast. And I told him, and he's like, you should ask him about the tax deal. So he had a guy that he knew that explained to him like that, oh yeah, I get taxed in different at every state that I play in.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that's crazy.
So you're in the NFL right now. That's your fall, right? Like that's your main career. That's your focus. So who's holding it down right now at the farm while you're playing? And like, what's your goal with, because obviously you want to farm. Like that's your end game. That's what you want to strive for. And you're doing everything you can to like invest in that now. But like, what are you trying to do now when you're in the NFL to kind of further your farm or your knowledge right now?
Yeah. First off, our farm, we're slowly starting to get the equipment and machinery to be able to do it ourselves. But we have our neighbors, Ritter Farms, Brandon Ritter, custom farms, majority of it for us. And I was saying last night, like there's brilliant people, there's innovators, there's wicked smart people. There's Brandon Ritter, and then right above Brandon Ritter is Elon Musk. Like that's how smart
he better give you a beer next time.
Yeah.
I'm the one who always gives him beer because all the stuff he does for us, and he super innovative on the farming side of things. So he custom farms for me and my dad, and he does a lot of it of like, I have these ideas and he's like, okay, this is what I think. If I give him 5 ideas, he says we could probably do 2 of those, or like 2 of those would probably work. And so he's wicked smart, but he does all kind of the maintenance and the planning, the harvesting, spraying, all that stuff for me, which is the best. Like, he's awesome. No better family, I think, in the Midwest than the Ritters. They're unbelievable. And that's how I'm able to operate the farm when I'm out in Seattle. It's a phone call, or he's sending me videos of probably going through the best soybeans of my field, saying like, hey, this field's looking good, but he's going through the low spot just to make me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But that's how we do it. And we're slowly starting, as we accumulate more land and pick up some more acreage, that we're starting to we bought a sprayer, and we're probably getting a planter here in the next 8 to 10 months to start planting our own stuff. And that's kind of what it is. But Northland Farms, my dad, we would not be able to do what we do without the Ritter family and his boy Xavier, who's just graduated high school, and he's already knows more about farming than me and my dad will our entire life combined.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep, got a passion for it.
Yeah, wicked smart too. And when I break something, first call, Xavier Brandon Ritter.
Yeah.
Hey, happened again.
Yeah. So like for you, you said it last night, like you want to, in the next 5 years, like you're trying to figure out how to just be the best operator you can be, so that when the time does come, you're going all in on the farm and NFL career's done, like you can step in and just crush. Is that like the goal, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And we talked about it last night. Like, I think the past 5 years, I was strictly just like, I did the grunt work. Like, I was the plant, and I was the lead mechanic, self-proclaimed, on our farm. But I broke most of the stuff, so I was fixing what I broke. And I was just doing all that. Well, now as I start to buy land and I have the football and stuff to worry about, like, I'm moving more into like a management type role. Not that I want to, but I have to. Mm-hmm. And we were talking last night about being able to manage cash flow, being able to manage employees, being able to manage the workforce and in a timely manner. Time management's huge in farming.
The sexy side of agriculture.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I'm really trying to like hone in to get good at that, because I think the best operators right now in America are the guys who have kind of their ducks in a row. They're able to say, hey, you two, this is your job this spring. You guys are strictly spraying. You guys are planting. Like, let's master your crafts and go from there. And then being able to say, like, this field is ready to plant. Let's wait a day on this field. And just that's where your break even starts to become less and less, because you're able to manage so much of the moving parts, where in this day and age, you got a zillion things that could go wrong that you got to worry about. And if you can manage or be good at managing everything behind the scenes, your farm's going to be very successful.
You're setting yourself up for success.
Let's talk about this past year. Like, you've told a story about fertilizer, like buying fertilizer for this. Like, tell us about that story. Cause I mean, you're kind of new in this management role, right? Like, rookie season last year, like this is going to be the way the things go for the foreseeable future. So talk about some of the trial and errors that you've had to and go through.
I found out real quick that, like, if you aren't on your P's and Q's with farming, it's going to kick you square in the ass. And I was telling Sawyer the story last night that my dad this past fall was calling me. I'm out in Seattle playing football. He's calling me. He's like, hey, just heads up, like, I would get some fertilizer marketed, because there's
headed up.
Yeah, there's some issues coming down the tracks. I'm like, yep, got it. Hang up, go back to like watching film or playing video games or walking into a meeting and stuff. And you just put it on the back burner. And then it's like you get so far down the line, and this spring we went in and I bought like half my fertilizer, and I'm like, holy shit, that is up a lot from what it was last year. And then I only bought half of it in like February. And then I get my fertilizer bill like last week, and I'm calling my dad. I'm like, Dad, I think they put some of your fields under Northland Farms. Like, my dad just starts laughing. Yeah. He's like, yeah. What did I tell you last fall? I was like, yeah, I learned the hard way there. So that hurt. The fertilizer bill hurt this year, but
yeah, caught a lot of guys. I mean, you want to think it's such a crapshoot, because we truly are in a world. It's a world economy when it comes to your inputs. And, guys looked at that last fall and were like, okay, well, this thing's going to sort itself out. I'm not paying that. I'm going to wait till spring. And then it just never got sorted out. And it's go time, and you're spending double what you spent last year. So yeah, you'll have plenty of opportunities to play Monday morning quarterback on your farming operation and be like, you idiot, you should have done that.
That's how you learn, though, man. I mean, trial and error for sure. And I don't know, let's talk about just like your outlook on agriculture in general right now. Oh, that's a great sound. What's your outlook on ag? Like, as a young guy, you're in the game now. Like, you got your farm, you got to do this management role, but like, it's a tough time in ag right now for a lot of guys, and a lot of people are vocal about that. I think there's a ton of opportunity. Every person we have on this podcast that comes on, they all feel like there's a ton of opportunity in agriculture. So, like, are you thinking you strictly want a grain farm? Do you want to get into livestock? Do you ever think you want to do like a niche, create your own market kind of deal in some capacity? Like, where's your head at when it comes to being a young guy in ag?
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head there. Like, I think you have to diversify and figure out ways to, if let's say you want to be, your main thing is going to be grain farming, row crop. Well, you got to kind of diversify in ways that you can better yourself on the grain side of things. If that's livestock, and figuring out like, hey, let's do some sort of livestock so I'm able to get manure on the farming aspect, so you aren't having to buy commercial fertilizer or as much commercial fertilizer. And so you got to find ways, like, if you're going to, I always say, like, if your fastball is going to be grain farming, you got to be able to have a curveball in off farm income, or a slider in livestock, or if you want to change up and go kind of on a different route and be specialized of some sort, saying like, the farm to table beef side, and only, let's say 10 cows a year, you finish 10 cows, but you butcher them and then you sell them in your local town or something like that. You can't just throw your fastball the entire time through life and expect to be kind of dominant. You got to have multiple kind of streams of income feeding into the lake so you don't run dry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I'm 24. Sawyer, I'm going to guess you're still in your 20s.
Mm-hmm. 26.
Torque, I'm not
30.
I'm not going to guess.
What, 30 what? Oh, 55.
55.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
I
wasn't going to guess.
I get it confused.
I wouldn't have said you were a day over 42, but
I really like you. I really like you.
Stock's going up.
We're in our 20s, and I think it's good that we're experienced these hardships, because right now is where you learn, like, fertilizer. Start marketing at prices that allows you to make a profit or break even. And you learn that young, to where in your 40s and 50s, if there's good times in agriculture, you can make a lot of money because you kept your break even low. Or if you hit another tough time, this ain't any worse than back in the early 2020s to 2025 of farming, where it's like, okay, I've been through this, I've done this before. This is what allowed me to continue to grow, to keep farming, and go from there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to come up with a better plan than Powerball, or marrying a nurse or a lawyer,
or marrying out of the plat book.
Yeah, well, you two are both young enough. That's still a possibility. Never underestimate marrying from the plat book.
There's a famous saying that my dad told me when I was a young boy.
I bet you I know
He
it.
said you can marry more money in 5 minutes than you can make in a lifetime. Remember that, Sawyer.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, if you got to get that township plot book,
Hey,
just go right ahead.
no judgment from you, I guess. Yeah. Yep. What'd you always say? Watch the obituaries.
Watch the obituaries, because there's a lot of widows out there that need consoling. So
Yeah. Yep. Is there any projects on your farm currently that you're striving for, or that you want to disclose? Or are you keeping that pretty close to your chest?
Yeah. In my situation, like you want to keep your moves, you want to hold your cards close to your chest. In this day and age and stuff, especially with how cutthroat agriculture is. But I think, like, right now, I told you I'm trying to build a feedlot, and that's got to tear out some old fence and old feedlot and all that stuff and redo it, because, like I said, we're kind of diving in head first to it. And the real reason I'm not going to get into cows, I want that to be known.
Yep.
Everyone out there that I said that could kick me square in the nuts if I ever got into cows, I'm not getting into cows. I'm getting into this feedlot because I think the manure that you can produce from livestock is going to offset your kind of break even by great amounts with not having to buy commercial fertilizer. And if you're paying, can't even tell what an application of spread manure is per acre these days, but you're getting it for pennies on the dollar compared to commercial fertilizer. And we've seen what hog manure injected into soils does for my dad and some of the land he has. And I'm like, I just want a slice of the pie. Like, just give me the tiny corner piece of spreading, if it's cow manure out on one of my fields, like give me a tiny piece of that and let me just not have to pay so much.
Yeah. You got to keep trying, keep working the angles and see what works. And you know what? It may be something that grows that you want to get more into. It just depends. So that's good.
What do you think? Yeah, go ahead.
Tax breaks.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say. Tax breaks.
Yeah. What do you think about land prices? Like, we were talking about this last night. I mean, for us, like, what is it around here? 21,000
or better
an acre.
$20?
Yeah.
I wish. I wish I'd be throwing that out. No, like, as young guys, getting into the game, making the ground pencil even is crazy. Servicing that debt, it doesn't even pencil, like around here anyways. Buying new ground, the farm's not gonna pencil very well. But it's like, how do you grow? So I was just curious, like, in your situation, how are you thinking about land prices? Do you think they're going to continue to go up? You think they're going to go down? Like, do you ever want to move your farm from where you currently farm to somewhere else? Like, because you talked about also, like, yield, it's different in different places. Like, what's your whole thought on that, thought process on that?
How long do you guys got?
Well,
no, it's, I look at it two ways. One, wicked expensive right now. Like, who would have ever thought that this would be the price of land? And you probably go back 20, 30 years ago and you're like, why didn't I buy that farm? Which I thought was way too expensive at the time. And you think about that and you're just like, now how I think about it is, if I'm going to pay, let's say, $4,000 an acre, am I going to look ahead in 20 years and think I should have bought more land at $4,000 an acre? Or am I going to think, man, why didn't I buy more land when it was only $4,000 and now I'm having to pay $15,000, $16,000 an acre?
You are 100% going to wish that you bought more land wherever. And I can tell you, where my 2-barn site sits, that farm, my dad did end up buying that land, but he had the option of buying that land back in the 60s. And I want to say that the person that had it offered it to him for $550 an acre. And he said that was too much and asked them if they would take $450 for it. And they said, no, but we take $525. And he's like, nope, can't do it. Fast forward to the 80s, and he bought that 240 acres for $1,750 an acre. And he thought that he would never be able to pay for it. Then within 3 years of that is when land prices started to move again, and land was $3,000. It had doubled in no time at all. And then within 10 years, it was $10,000 an acre. There was an auction here in our county of a family that they didn't farm, but they had accumulated a bunch of ground, and they farmed in partnership with people that crop rented it. And they sold all those farms. I can't remember if there was 6 of those farms or 5, but $10,000 an acre. Well, today, $20,000 an acre. So the old adage that when should I buy land? When somebody's selling it. Yeah. That's exactly right.
The tree theory.
The issue though is how do you figure out a way to pay for that? And I think land's going to keep going up because I think our dollar keeps getting devalued, and people look around and they want an asset, a tangible asset. And so it just keeps drawing more people, not only within agriculture, but people outside of agriculture that just keep pushing chips in on it. So that's not going to make it easier for you, but that's my analogy.
It's one of those deals where, honestly, like how I look at it, being 24 years old, it's take a big bite and then figure out how to chew it.
Yep.
It's one of those deals like you can either walk in slowly in the shallow end or just go dive head first in the deep end and figure out how to swim.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those deals like maybe that's such a flawed way of looking at life, but at the end of the day, like what's the worst that can happen? You go bankrupt, damn, you're still breathing, just start all over again and start from square one. And that's where I think guys our age, and I was telling Sawyer about this, guys our age that want to hustle and want to go make a name for themselves, there's so much opportunity in this world with the phasing out of the older generation of if it's farmers, if it's bankers, like if you want to work, there's work out there to be had, and you can make a shitload of money doing it. And it's just, would you rather be working on a Saturday or golfing?
Yeah.
And some days I would love to be golfing on a Saturday, and other days I'm like, I got to go work.
Yep.
That's something I respect about you a lot, is that, you know, like you've made it to the pinnacle of your sports career, as far as like you're in the NFL, you just won a Super Bowl, you got a long career ahead of you, you know, God willing, and like it's awesome. But you're driven outside of football, man. Like that's something that I think is awesome. And I asked you this question last night, like, where does that come from? Because, you know, like I think a lot of athletes, their whole goal of their entire life is I'm going to the league. Like that's what I want to do. That's all I've ever known I wanted to do.
Athletics is the goal.
Athletics is it. Yep. Like that's it. But like you're there, but you're still hungry to, you know, want to grow, want to invest, want to get into farming, thinking about what are you going to do after football. And I think that's freaking awesome. And you can definitely tell. So like when you look at when you look down the road 20 years, like what does your farm look like? Like what do you want it to look like? Do you want to be a BTO? Like, do you want to farm a shitload of acres? Do you want to have enough that it's fun and then be diversified in other ways? Like, where's your head at on that?
Yeah, I think the coolest thing about what I want to do is football's only a tool that helps me achieve what I want to be when I grow up. And that's a farmer, that's a dad, that's a grandpa. And I think me playing football now at this age allows me to get kind of a head start in life with money, relationships, opportunity, and all that. And I think at the end of the day, like I don't want to be a BTO. That's the last thing I want to be. I've said this to my dad, and he knows it. I promised that I want to farm about 2,000 acres and be able to have the land paid for, the equipment paid off, and just do it purely for fun and joy. And if I lose 20 grand in a year, dang it. Like, I have other outside source of revenue and all that stuff. I got to spend my entire spring, summer, and fall doing what I loved. And that's not being tied to an 8 to 5. That's not having a boss. That's doing what I love doing. And that's farming, being outdoors, being in peace. And I said, like, I want to be able to have it to where I'm able to plant in the spring for week and a half, 2 weeks, spray once in June, spray again in July. I'm able to play golf on a Tuesday because I don't have anything to do at the farm or fix anything. And then in the fall comes around, I'm able to have a couple of kids that can help me on the farm, or a good hired hand, or a few good buddies that come up, and we can harvest our crop in a week, 2 weeks, and then go down to Arizona and enjoy the winter and enjoy life. Like, I
Call into Pat McAfee and tell him what all the young bucks are doing wrong and how you would have made that play and wouldn't have missed that tackle. Yeah. Oh, Pat, these kids, they don't get it. They don't get it. He shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How didn't
Footwork's terrible.
Yeah. How didn't he see that safety rotating down into the box? He knew the blitz was coming. Like, you got to know that. Like, I didn't know that the first 7 years, but now I do after I can be an armchair coach.
Yeah. 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 You know, that probably, I would look forward to that. You know, when you, like, as a football player, when you are on that size of stage and you know that you're getting all these people that are just, they're coaching you, like they're telling you how they could have done it better. When you finally do get to that point that you can be an analyst, it's got to be kind of fun to be like, oh yeah, that, you know, they shouldn't have, it's kind of got to be fun to give your 2 cents. So
yeah. And I don't know, a few guys love it because of the personalities that they have, and they're really good at it. Like Pat McAfee's top tier.
Goat.
He's awesome.
Goat.
Like, ESPN hitching their wagon to that horse was probably one of the smartest business decisions that they made.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you watch that, and like you said, you have no idea. Like, the entire world, I take that back. I would say 98% of people watching have no idea what the play call was, what everybody's responsibilities were. They're just seeing a bad throw or an overthrow or something, and it's like, here comes Twitter warriors, like, or people saying shit, and you're just like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You have no idea what could have happened or what breakdown could have happened that you didn't see that caused this as the result. Or they did something that you thought they weren't going to do, but they did it and they threw you, you know, like, there's so much stuff.
Other than Tony Romo, when he started as an analyst, it was hilarious because he was good. He was so good that he knew what to play. Like, he knew, it's like, this is what I'd play, and this is what I'd call, this is what I'd do, and then it would happen. And like, yep.
Yeah.
That final drive of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game when they played the Chiefs, and Tony Romo, that I've never witnessed such brilliant, like, commentating.
Yeah.
Like, Gronkowski split out up on top of the screen. I'm assuming they're going to try and run a fade and have him get out of bounds. And next thing you know, it's back shoulder, 15-yard pickup. Gronk runs out of bounds, and he's like, now there's some time on the clock. I got to assume they're going back to the run game, maybe some outside zone, try and target a safety rolling down into the alley.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for a moment, I was like, he has to be like watching it.
Has he got a mic? Has he got somebody's mic?
And it's and then the final one, it's like, oh, they got a light box. They think they're doing play action here. And I'm like, what is going, like, this dude, go be a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, it's the pros of being a quarterback. He had to know everything. But yeah, no, man. What are some ways? We talked about it last night, and you can disclose as much as you want or not. But like, what are some of the ways that you're diversifying outside of just farming? Because that picture you just painted I mean, sounds awesome. Like I think every farm kid would, that sounds
That's
like
what we're all working for.
Yeah, that's what we're working towards, Like, so yeah, you said, okay, if the farm lost $20,000, I would hope to have some diversification somewhere else. Like, what are those things that you're thinking about right now?
Where do you think the world's headed?
Yeah, like where are you trying to invest in outside of farming?
Take this for what it's worth, but I think there's few really like the old saying, like, you don't invest in a company, you invest in a leader. And there's a few guys out there that are wicked smart. They have a vision of what they want to do, and we talked about like the Hilbert boys investing in Bitcoin and all that. And I'm like, that is crazy, because he saw something that's coming down the line, and now it's getting to a point like, how often do you guys carry cash on you?
I don't, not very much.
I do, because I'm old. I like having a little cash.
I hardly carry cash with me. The only time I carry cash is when I know I'm going somewhere that like it's a cash bar at a wedding or something like that. Then I'm stopping at ATM, but I don't ever carry cash. Well, now you're looking down the future like, okay, well, our next generation wasn't brought up carrying cash, so no shot we're teaching our kids to carry cash. And what says it 40 years from now that Bitcoin is, you want to buy a new truck? Awesome. It's 1.25 Bitcoins.
Yep.
And you just wire it straight to them. And I think that's, as much as we don't want it to happen, that's where society is trending. So I think, like you said, like diversifying, like I think real estate's going to be king here in the next 40 to 50 years, because 3 things that you got to need is food, water, and shelter. And I think with the interest rates of where they're at, there's going to be more people leasing than buying. And you see that, and like you see trends. And a lot of the times, like my dad always said back when he was 20, 30 years old, he could see the trend. He just didn't have any money to capitalize on it. And we've talked, like, if you're young and want to hustle and go make money and are smart enough to see what's coming down the train tracks, you can make a shitload of money and change your family dynamics and generations to come. Because instead of your kids inheriting a couple $100,000, they're instead inheriting 4 apartment complexes that are paid for, and they cash flow every single month. And that's where generational wealth is built. Or farmland, hog barns. On the agricultural side, that's where like you're ahead of the 8 ball.
Yeah, cash flow is king, and like we talked about last night. And something that there was a story you told, and I think I never heard it about flying and where you're flying and
The first class theory.
Yeah, talk about that, and talk about that story with that guy. You don't have to disclose everything, but just talk about like that story, the first class theory and the value of that, but then also like what that turned into.
Yeah. So I have this theory, first class theory, is when you fly, sitting in the first class and making conversation with the person sitting next to you, because if they're flying in first class as well, they either trust fund or they've made money themselves to be able to put themselves in that situation and just pick their brain and ask questions and all that. And from when I first got drafted, or when I first kind of made a good chunk of money, I started flying first class, not because I wanted to. I'm flying for the person I would have to sit next to in economy.
They'd pay for the ticket.
Yeah, and how big I am and stuff. I would feel awful if I got put in like middle seat or have to sit next to somebody and I'm just huge. And so I started flying first class, and then I was flying back home to get back to the farm during OTAs this spring, and I'm sitting there talking to a guy. He's flying out of Seattle. We're going to Denver, and I'm like, hey, what do you do for work and stuff? And he's like, oh, I'm work for a construction company, and we're looking at places to build a few places out in Washington. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. Like, what do you guys think about building? Like, are you guys in real estate or commercial, all this? And he's like, we're actually building data centers. And I'm like, okay, that seems pretty cool. And so we just continue to talk, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so like, how many have you built? Because there's talks of data centers going up in South Dakota, and I want to learn about what I'm walking into. And he was like, yep, we've already built 40. We're finding land to build, or we're finding land to build more. We currently have 60 in the works, but we're planning on building 200. Like we got permitted to build 200. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I was like, you don't got to answer this, but like, who are you building these for?
Yep.
And he's like, oh, it's a company called like Anthropic and all this. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, Anthropic. They're just trying to memorize that company because I'm like, I want to be part of this. And get off the plane. And I call my older brother who's wicked smart, super into investing right now. Like, dude, I don't know what this company does, but we need to get into it because they're building data centers. And he's like, oh, what company? I'm like, it's like he's like, you're like Anthropic, you dumbass. Like the biggest growing company in the entire world. How do you not know about this? I'm like, dude, leave me alone. Like I've been playing football the past week. Like, and he's like, yes, like they aren't IPO'd yet, blah, blah. And so I'm like, okay, well, another one is he compared it to SpaceX. And they're like, my brother's like, yeah, SpaceX, like I think within the next year or two, like they're going to IPO. So then obviously what do is I call my financial advisor and was like, hey, I want to get in on SpaceX, or I want to get in on Anthropic and SpaceX. And he's like, well, Anthropic, I couldn't even tell you.
Crazy number.
Millions and millions of dollars. I was like, okay, don't have that. But how about SpaceX? And he's like, yeah, I think they're going to IPO sometime this summer. I'm like, let's get in pre-IPO. So I was able to do that, which very fortunate. But we go back to the deal. You don't invest in companies, you invest in leaders.
Yep.
And like I said, Elon Musk, wicked smart. And so it's like, just try and hitch the wagon to that.
And for all of you out there, I didn't pay him to say that about Elon. This was an honest conversation.
Everybody knows Torque's an Elon fan. Yeah.
Hey, you know that the only thing that sucks about your theory on first class, and I'm going to try this out, and I'm going to call you when this happens, because what'll happen to me,
wife or something.
No, what'll happen to me is I will pay for the first class ticket, and I'll sit down next to somebody, and I'll say, "Hey, what do you do?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm unemployed. I just heard this guy that said you should pay for a first class ticket because there'll be somebody there that you can learn something from." And I'm like, well, damn it. I thought I was going to learn from you. And then we're both going to sit there and go, well, I guess we just pissed that away.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably end up sitting next to each other.
Yeah, well, I'm not letting you buy a ticket.
Yeah.
You can sit in the back.
No.
You can sit in that economy row where the exit window is.
Yeah.
You get some leg room there.
Yeah. Well, that's all I care about is if I can get some damn leg room, because it gets tight.
Yeah.
It gets tight for sure.
I don't know what that's like. I could fit anywhere.
Yeah. Dynamite comes in small packages.
It does, baby. It does.
Are you guys, so I got to know this because this is a hot topic in the NFL right now. When the plane lands, do you guys immediately stand up, stretch legs, or is that like very frowned upon? You're like pissed at whoever does it?
If I'm closest to the aisle, I will.
Okay.
But if I'm in the middle or if I'm closest to the window, no.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
you're
this
getting
ain't gonna
off the
rush.
plane at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only that annoys me to death. Like, it isn't the people that stand. What annoys me are the people that are, say, you're over halfway back through the passengers and you're in a middle seat, and the first thing you do is get up and you got to get your carry-on out of that overhead thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Because you're not going anywhere.
No.
Like, it's going to be a good solid 10 minutes before it's like, if you're towards the front, you're on the aisle, okay, I'll give you some grace there, but you're stuck. Like, just chill. Just chill.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than that middle seat warrior who's like, that plane hits, the seatbelt, ding. No,
They're up.
excuse me. And I'm like,
Dude,
come on.
chill.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. And the best videos, some of the best videos are those people that get in arguments on airplanes, and it's always somebody that's like that they just are rushing, don't give a shit about anybody else.
They're going to try to save 3 seconds.
Yeah, they're just
Karens
dicks
of the world.
Yeah.
And if you're landing in some place like Chicago, it doesn't matter. Even if you save a little bit of time,
You're delayed anyways.
you're either going to miss your connecting flight. I hate Chicago airport. It's like every time I land there and I have a layover, and you think that it's long enough to get to the gate, you land and you're like, okay, yeah, you look at your watch like, oh yeah, we're good. And then you start taxiing, and you're just taxiing and taxiing and taxiing. Like, you're literally taxiing for like 20 minutes, and you're watching your watch, and you're like, oh, we ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
Oh, we ain't gonna make it. Then you finally get off, and you're just flying, trying to get there, and then they move your flight anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
I
airport.
had that happen to me this spring on the way back to Seattle for OTAs. I flew home one weekend to work at the farm and spray and all that stuff. And that Sunday night, we fly out of Pierre to go to Denver, and we land in Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. And I was watching a movie, like whatever. I open up the window and I'm like,
This don't look
where are
like
we
Denver.
at? This does not look like Denver right now. Maybe we landed on like some weird like strip over like opposite side. I'm like, this is
Runway
not-
ZZ.
Yeah. And so they're like, welcome to Scottsbluff, Nebraska. Sorry we got diverted, like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to miss my flight. And we have 8 a.m. meetings Monday morning. Like I'm SOL. And so I'm just sitting there, and then they delayed my flight in Denver. And then as I'm flying, we leave Scottsbluff. As I'm flying into Denver, we are almost about to land, and the pilot pulls up. And I'm like, what are we doing? I'm texting. I was at the time we're low enough where you have cell phone reception. And luckily, my tight end, really good buddy, Eric Saubert, was flying out of Denver as well because he lives in Denver. He's flying out same exact flight as me. And I'm like, dude, we just about landed, and we just have to circle around again. And at that point, like I'm getting close. Like I'm going to miss this flight. I've accepted it. And Sabi's like, it just once you get here, just sprint. Like I'll try and hold them up, like just sprint. Like I think we got like a 15-minute delay. So we circle around, we land, we taxi forever, like you said. And I'm like just sitting here watching my phone. And it's 8:20 leave time, and I'm still on the flight at 8:14. And I'm like, dude, I'm
No
done
way.
for. Like I'm getting prepared to call my O-line coach and being like, yeah, I missed my flight in Denver. Like got delayed. I can't be there. I'll get the first flight in the morning. And we're waiting. I grab my bag. I go sprinting through the airport. And if you watch me run, like
It was like an old O.J. Simpson Hertz rental car where he's just hurtling through there.
no, it's like people are wondering if I've had both hips replaced, knees gone, like ankles are non-existent. Like I'm sprinting through the airport, and I go sprinting, and he's like texting me. As I'm running, I'm looking at my phone, and they're like final people are just boarding right now. I'm sprinting. I go from terminal A to B. I get there to the gate, and the doors close. Nobody's there. Like, fuck. Pull out my phone. I have my O-line coach's contact pulled up. I'm going to hit it. The door opens. It's the flight attendant. And they're like, Gray? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, all right, let's go. We got to go. And I go, we're sprinting down the jet bridge, and we get on the plane, and the two flight attendants were like, they're like, just take a deep breath. You're on this flight. We're going to close the door right behind you. Like, we got to get going. Like, blah, blah. Your buddy told us that we got to wait for you. So we told the pilots that you were coming, like, blah, blah. He may have name dropped you. And I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I'm on the flight, could care less. Like, I sit down. I'm still panting. Like, I'm starting to sweat. Like, I'm like, oh, like, we made it. Sabi switches with the guy sitting next to me. He's like, dude, I can't believe you made this flight. Like, this is incredible. And I'm like, dude, when I sprinted up and that door was closed, I'm like, I hate my life. I just sprinted, looked like an idiot through the Denver airport just to miss the flight. Like, this is awful.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be somebody that got in front of you in the airport. I would have been like, this guy's got to go somewhere.
I'm like, those, have you, the Denver airport, they have those like horizontal escalators that speed you up.
Yeah.
Lifting my bag up, sprinting
Running on
through
it?
Yeah. Felt like I was running a 440 on these things. Like, just flying.
Yeah. No, that's hilarious, dude. Yeah, no, I think that theory is awesome. I've never even heard of that first class theory. And I think it's any young person listening, I think the importance of being able to talk to a stranger, shake their hand, look them in the eye, like, and be a constant learner, that obviously can take you a long ways. Cause like that opened a door for you that taught you learned something that then you took that knowledge and applied it, and it's paid off in a good way, you know? And like, that's you, if you're shy, if you're not willing to talk to people, if you're not willing to like put yourself out there, ask questions, like that shit's not going to just happen, you know?
I just think humiliation's like the best form of growing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what it is, but weddings, live bands, dance floor, get quite a few drinks in me. I am out there. I have 2 left feet when I dance. Like, it's not, but I'm out there dancing, and it's like, I love weddings, strict to the fact that like, it's the one time, like, nobody cares what you look like. We're just there celebrating 2 people who love each other, getting married. Like, they're awesome. Like, they're the best. Like,
Well, you can look like a dumbass. Nobody cares.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ties on my head sideways. Like, it's the best. I love it.
Yeah. What's one of your most memorable hunts of your life that you just like think about to this day still? That if you could relive it again, you would.
Oh, it's a no-brainer. So backstory of it, my grandpa passed away November 2nd, 2019. And that deer season rolls around, and first weekend, there was a few big bucks up in our farm that we're like chasing, and first weekend goes by, we don't see them and stuff, and we're very particular. We're horn hunters. Let me preface this that we're horn hunters. We aren't just shooting a deer to shoot a deer. Like, we want the big trophy ones that we can put up on the wall and stuff and let our herd grow and all that. And so first weekend, second weekend, I'm gonna miss, or no, second weekend was Thanksgiving. We hunted all Thanksgiving, didn't see them. Third weekend, final weekend, I have to go up to NDSU for a college visit. This is in December. I talked my parents into letting me go up Friday morning, or I went up Thursday night to the farm, and I said, let me hunt Friday morning and pick me up on the way through to Fargo, because we go straight through a farm, and will pick me up whenever we're leaving, but I want to go hunt because I won't be able to last season. So I'm up there alone, and up in the tree stand, we have the enclosed blinds, heater, just living life. It's the best. And here comes 2 of the shooter bucks come walking out. It's snowing, like perfect, like beautiful hunting conditions out. Like, you can't make this up. And here's the 2, and they're out there moseying around. And I remember like calling my dad, and I'm like, hey, which one's the bigger one again? Is it the one with the tall horns or what? And I'm calling him. He's back in Pierre, like, and I ended up shooting the one we were chasing after. And I shoot it, and I'm sitting up in the stand, and I'm like, well, shit, I'm the only one up at the farm. I can't I can't clean this buck and lift it up into the truck by myself. Like this, I just not strong. Okay. and it was, so I called my grandpa's 2 buddies, and they ended up picking up the 3rd one, but they came up to help me load that buck into the truck. And I tell you what, when I drove out of the farm, those antlers of that buck were like, it was a F-150, but the antlers were sticking up higher than the bed of the truck were. Like, it was a big ass buck. I remember pulling up, and my neighbor saw those antlers. So he stopped, and he stops by, and he goes, holy shit, you got the big one. I'm like, yeah. You would have just saw that rodeo that I had a bunch of old dudes trying to help me, and I'm like pulling the antlers up into the truck. They aren't helping. They're just making sure. And that was my, by far, like, I will take that memory to the grave.
Yeah.
It was picture perfect, but God, I'll remember that hunt forever.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. What's like a hunt that you haven't done in your life that you want to do? Like, have you shot hogs out of a helicopter yet?
No, that seems sweet.
I want to do that. We want to put a damn hog head on this barn.
Yeah, we do.
Walls at some point. We got to do it.
I was saying, like, right up there would be perfect for either like a big ass longhorn, like with those horns going out. Like, my grandpa used to raise a few longhorns, and either that or like a big ass hog would be sweet. But no, that helicopter hunting
looks so fun.
Fishing with dynamite there. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it does. That's a good analogy, honestly.
Yeah. I spent my Super Bowl bonus. My mom thinks she thought I spent my entire Super Bowl bonus on the thermals, on those ARs, so coyote hunting.
Yeah.
You think you're like the dominant species out in the middle of the night with those thermals, seeing everything, and then coyotes start howling all around you. You're like, I'm prey.
Yeah.
I am prey right now.
Yeah.
Like, just please stay away from me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that's
Those thermals are incredible, though.
Yeah.
That technology's gotten so good.
Yeah, people love them. I got a few
crazy.
buddies that bought them, and it's fun.
Are there coyotes down here?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Thick.
Oh, yeah, thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of pigs, a lot of compost piles,
A lot of bucks.
They love them.
Yeah.
A lot of coyotes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
So is that
blast.
what is that? What is that hunt you haven't done that you'd want to do?
You said it. Like, you know how sweet it'd be to go up in a helicopter and
Just mow down?
they do it for coyotes up in our area. Do the hunting coyotes out of a helicopter or plane.
I just got to tell you right now, I'm feeling it. We know the boys at Conterra pretty well, and Luke Schultz, we had him on here and we were hitting him up.
He'd do it.
He'd do it. I think, Luke, here's your door gunner. We'll make it happen. Let's go.
Yeah.
We'll put it together. Maybe we need 2 helicopters.
Yeah, he came on and he's a big hunter too, and he talked about, I don't know if you listened to that episode or not, but he came on and what they do, they backpacked, horsebacked in where was it? Was it Sand Hills or
No, it was out in Wyoming, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
It was
Elk? Out
yeah,
there?
they did
Yeah,
elk
and
hunting.
how long?
Horseback, 7 days.
You're a
like,
different breed if you do
just
that.
up a mountain all day, go and camp out, and they all ended up getting elk, but
Yeah.
he said his fucking ass was just chafed and
Yeah.
and he said it, and then I asked him, "Would you do it again?" He goes, "Oh, in a heartbeat."
Yeah, he said he left. He said I'd never do it again. And then now he's like,
I'd go back tomorrow.
Go back tomorrow.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's like crazy. There's so many hunts that you could do.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do. I mean, I guess I want to close out with one more thing before we go to the lightning round. Like, you're in Seattle. Like, where do you hope to go from here? Like in your NFL career, like, are you just like, man, Super Bowl, won another one next year? Like, what do you think? What do you think your team's capable of? You guys think you can repeat? Like, where's your head at there?
I wouldn't even say repeat. Like, just go win another one.
Yeah.
We got a different team now, and you saw it last year. Like, I think like culture, connected, like enjoying each other while playing football, like enjoying each other's presence and like being around each other. Like, that was so cool. And I think it's one of those deals. Like, we have the talent, we have the coaching staff, we have everything. Now it's just, all right,
Execution.
execution. Training camp's going to be rough because it's going to be iron sharpens iron, and it's going to be the brotherly love. There's going to be fights, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, we're all in one locker room, we're all one team, and the sky's the limit. And you see these other teams, and it's the NFL. Like, any given Sunday, any team can get beat, which is the coolest part about the league that we play in. It's any given Sunday. So I think the sky's the limit.
Yeah. I didn't ask you this question, but how loud is the 12s? Like, is that as crazy as, because I've never been to that stadium, but is it just like live up to all the hype?
I can't even describe it. Like, the stadium was shaking when Rashid returned that kickoff against 49ers in the playoffs. Like, the stadium was actually shaking, and it was so loud. Like, I couldn't hear a thing. Like, we just grabbed our helmets and went sprinting for field goal. And it was on, like, they're just, in the nicest way possible, they're the craziest fan base in the entire world. Like, that parade, and you're riding on buses through downtown, and there's like well over 1 million people there, and you got people like yelling my name, and I turn and I look, and they're throwing up a Busch Light to me. I'm like, what are, like,
Yeah.
I missed one, just absolutely nuked my buddy in the back of the head. I felt so bad. But they don't pay me to catch Busch Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're unbelievable, and like, they just embrace you for who you are. Like, who would root for a Midwest guy who only drinks Busch Light and is just an absolute bonehead out on the football field? Well, the 12s embraced who I was. Like, I didn't have to change. I'm just who I am and just having fun with it. And they somehow love it. I don't know why, but I guess they love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Let's go rapid fire here. So, like, answer these as quick as you can, but context if you need to. Toughest defensive lineman you face this year?
Jeffrey Simmons. No
Jeffrey
doubt.
Simmons.
Or, well, that I face, yeah. The guys on my team are like Leo, Jay Reed, B Murph, those guys are studs.
D-Law.
Yeah, D-Law is good. Yeah.
Favorite meal your grandma makes?
Probably she makes these German strudels with mashed potatoes and gravy and Salisbury steak on the bottom of the gravy.
I was gonna ask you this. We talked about this last night. You said seafood in Seattle is insane, but like, do you ever just sometimes miss that home
100%.
home Midwest cooking?
100%. There's nothing better. Like, you guys are gonna probably say the same thing. There's no better cook in the world than your grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
100. Like, obviously, she might use a pound of butter on every single meal possible. Like,
Yep.
But that's to worry about when I'm 55 and we're good. But it's unbelievable. Like you said, the seafood out there. I was never a sushi or seafood guy. And then you go out there and then off to the races.
Yeah. John Deere Case IH or something else.
We're Case IH.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Just because John Deere's too expensive.
Yeah.
What's the biggest adjustment or thing that was just weird to you going to the West Coast, going to Seattle?
Oh yeah, this is gonna be Pacific Standard Time. I don't think there's a better time zone than out there.
Really?
So, okay, let's just say, you guys NBA fans, like, do you ever watch basketball or anything like that?
Yep.
Like the East Coast games that start at 8:00, that it's 7:00 here, you're watching the game, or even in the NFL, like Sunday Night Football is at 7:00, you're watching the game till
10,
11, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Out there, it's you play at 5 and you're done before 9 and you're at home.
Oh yeah.
Like by 10, having supper and going to bed, or you wake up, the stock market opens at 6:30.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one shitty thing though is when East Coast people call you at the start of their workday.
Yep.
And it's like you wake up and you're like, dude, it's 5:30 in the morning. Leave me alone.
Why are you bothering me?
Yeah. Like, how don't you know I'm in Seattle right now?
Yeah. What's one thing you miss about college football that you don't have in the NFL?
I think truly playing it for the love of the game. Like, well, nowadays kids make NIL. That's a whole different subject and story. But like back in the day, like I said, I would give up the NFL and all that stuff to go back and play college again, simply based off the fact, like, you win. There's your games at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. You win. You go out to eat with your parents. You beg them for $40 so you could go to the bar, and you go walk into that bar with $40, and like you feel so rich because you can go buy a beer or a bottom shelf vodka lemonade for $2, $3, $4.
Yep. You're good all night.
You're good all night. And then at the end of the night, if you got like $6, you're like, walk over to the bartender and you're like, hey, appreciate you. Like, just tipped you $6 and like you just feel like a big dog. But that is what I miss about college football. And then you wake up Sunday with your boys and you watch NFL football all afternoon while you're trying to just recover.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's like Monday morning, you start all over again. You go to class and you go and do all that. But that was the best. College football is the greatest sport in the entire world. Nothing better.
Yeah. I have a few buddies that played football at Iowa that are all O-line guys. And man, it sounds like to me, and being around those guys, the O-line would just be, it's the funnest group. It's like you guys just get after it. You eat a bunch, you drink a bunch, you have a lot of fun, and you just dominate and push people around. And it just sounds like the best time.
There's no egos in the O-line room. You're all working one direction.
Yeah.
And then the greatest thing ever is like, there's like one quarterback, or on a team, there's 3 to 4 quarterbacks. The O-line, there's 12, 15, college, sometimes up to 20 dudes. You go into a bar together, it's a riot. Like people are clearing tables, you're pushing tables together so you can all sit together and you're just hollering. Like you just take over a bar.
Yeah, it's a force of nature at that point.
Yeah. And there's nothing better. Like there's 2 guys from Iowa on the Seahawks. Mason Richmond and Bo Steffens, or Steven Steffens. but 2 Iowa boys, and they just said like the same exact thing, that they're like, dude, it was so fun, the nightlife of Iowa City, not because of like partying or girls or all that. He was like, you went out with your boys and it was, okay, who can drink 20 beers the fastest?
Yep.
12 guys just in a bar, like just in a football bar, who can drink the beer the fastest? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, God, Iowa seemed
Feats of strength.
Yeah, they got it right.
Yeah, no, I've heard some good stories. They definitely got after it, and I think it's exactly that. And they're all good guys. Like, all of them are all down to earth. All of them seem like you can just get a beer with them, shoot the shit. Like, that's the best. That's the best. So, we have a segment that we like to end the show with, man. We call it Tip of the Hat. Who's somebody in your life? What's a brand you use or a product that you use, or somebody that you just want to say, man, they're just doing it right, and I want to tip my hat to them and give them their flowers because they deserve it. And you probably have multiple hats, so you could tip multiple hats if you want. Dad gets pissed when I say that, but every single time we say this, somebody goes, well,
Yeah,
I got multiple hats.
Like, I would honestly say, like, okay, I'm gonna go with 2, and they both work like side by side. And like, I'm not saying this because like I'm contractually like abided to, or like Busch Light and how they do like for the farmers and different cans and like supporting and all that stuff. Like, there's no better beer doing that out there, and like making I think the corn cob cans or the ones with the tractors on them, like those were so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it right. And then on the back half of that, Farm Rescue.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my cause, my cleats was Farm Rescue this year. And like what they do is unbelievable, because I'm sure you guys know about them, but they go to communities that the tragedy or something has happened, and they bring their combines and tractors and grain carts or planters, and they go and they do stuff for farmers that have had a crisis or a tragedy happen. And like, we didn't talk about it, and we all probably obviously know, but like the suicide rates in farming are way too high.
Mm-hmm.
And you see an organization like that who like strictly does what they do purely for the betterment of the world and small towns and agriculture. Like, Farm Rescue holds a pretty like special place in my heart. And that, like, when they brought up my cause, my cleats this year, it was Farm Rescue, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And they made some sweet cleats for them and stuff, and like auction them off and all that. But like, Farm Rescue is what they're doing up there is the Lord's work.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
it's unbelievable. Those are 2 that I think are pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Those are some damn good hats. I didn't ask you this, but I wanted to ask you, how important is faith to you? Because I know that in the intro, like, I think you had a quote of like 4 things: faith, football, farming. There might have been one other one, but how important has faith been on your journey?
Yeah, I think I'm a God-fearing man.
Yeah.
And try and get to church. In our town, they do church on Wednesday nights, which is awesome. I think kind of with how the world's going with, because you wake up Sunday morning or something, you're going to try and find every excuse not to go to church. So Wednesday nights is unbelievable. And I try and make it a habit in the off season when I'm back is getting to church and stuff. But I think at the end of the day, like, farming is the biggest risk, gamble, just giving yourself to the Lord and saying, like, just help me. Like, just please don't completely crush me with a hailstorm and 80-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, we're doing it for the man upstairs. Like, you guys starting this podcast to bring awareness to agriculture. Well, it all starts for something. I mean, first thing I noticed when I pulled in was the I love our church sign.
Yeah.
That you guys got posted up in your driveway. That's awesome. That's real small town US. Like, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And it's huge. I mean, we do chapel every Saturday night before the games, and our pastor out there is unbelievable. And some of his sermons, like, you leave that and you're just like, wow. Like, I don't know if he was trying to, but he just spoke directly to me without knowing it. It's huge, and you gotta believe in something, and obviously I believe in the Lord.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
man.
awesome.
Well, you've always said, we'll end this here, but you've always said, like you've said that many times about like faith and farming and how they.
Yeah, I think that it's people ask about, you know, your faith or how strong is your faith, or some people think it's difficult to have faith in something you can't see, like, you know, whether you're a Christian or not. And I feel like farming, it's just one of those things that you are totally at the mercy of everything, because you put these seeds out every year. You farrow pigs, you calve, you whatever, and you know it's your responsibility to care for that. And that is a total act of faith that you're going to get a crop, that you're going to be able to sell that crop for a profit, and that somehow you're going to be able to do it all over again, and that you're going to be here another year to do it. And so I think, you know, for a farmer, I don't think faith is nearly as much of like an abstract thing. I mean, it's part of your everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you said, you've kind of picked this up, that, you know, you were put here to, how do you say it?
Co-create on God's ultimate creation.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a farm.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Well, amen to that, boys.
Amen.
Where can people find you if they want to support your journey and follow you online and root you on from afar?
Just probably Grey Zabel on Instagram. You'll see Northland Farms in my bio. True and through. So,
are we ever going to see you on YouTube? Are you ever going to pick up the vlog camera and start ripping?
well, that's the hardest part, is you try and do that, and then it's like, oh, guys are just watching a dumbass behind a camera like break things, and then be like, this is what not to do. Yeah. Like, it's one of those deals. Like, why would it be a comedy series?
Oh no, there's value in that. There's value in that.
People love when shit breaks.
Yeah.
Yep.
They do. It'd be worth it.
Maybe down the line or something, but I'd have to get really bored to start carrying a camera around with me and filming my everyday at the farm.
Yeah.
People would get bored. That's something you'd like, Sunday afternoon, you need to take a nap. Oh, just throw on Northland Farms on YouTube and you're out like a light.
Do you have a farm dog? Maybe you need a blue heeler with a blue heeler cam.
Maverick. Chocolate Lab.
Oh, there
English,
you go.
English or American?
American.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
Bought him completely intoxicated at a Delta waterfowl banquet. Greatest. I think it was like $1,300 I've ever spent my entire life. The best.
Nice.
Maverick.
Parents were so pissed, but it was. Now he's like my dad's best friend. Like,
Of course.
Yeah, that's always.
if my
what
dad
happens.
had to save Maverick or me, he's probably saying like, Gray, I hope you had all your orders in line and got a will in place. Mav, let's go get you fed.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
Awesome.
shit, man, this has been an absolute pleasure. We appreciate you making the trip, coming on the show. You're doing an awesome job, and in football and farming. And guys, if you got any value from the show, go give Gray a follow the farm, check out what he's doing, share the show with the people that you know. We love you guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you back here next week for another episode.